Consistently working out and eating well can be so hard. And that's why many people start off their fitness journey bursting with motivation, but at some point lose track or throw in the whole towel. But I don't want you to become one of those people. And that's why in this video, I'm gonna give you a little motivational speech and tell you all the reasons people typically quit and how you can avoid to give up on your fitness self. And we're starting right now. So I recently did a little poll and asked you guys what your biggest struggles on your fitness journey are, and now I'm gonna address them. One very common struggle is to get yourself to get started with your workout, and that most often is just because you know that it's gonna be shitty and you're gonna be in pain and you don't even want to get started because you don't want to put yourself into pain, which is very understandable. So what I recommend you to do is first to reduce the friction of getting started, and second to make the actual working out more enjoyable, because yes, working out can be fun, and I totally understand why people think that working out is all about discipline and just about forcing yourself to get through it. Before I fell in love with health and fitness, I used to think that too. I was like, sports? Ew, no. But that was before I learned to enjoy what I was doing. So first step is reducing the friction, meaning apart from the actual getting yourself to start, make it the easiest for you to actually get started. That means have your workout clothes laying there, have your mat ready, have a specific time where you work out. And this is so important for any habit that you want to adopt, including working out regularly or eating better, is to have a routine for the thing that you want to do, so that it is a habit built into a stack of other habits, so that you don't even have to think about to have that inner discussion with yourself whether you should work out right now or not, or how long you should work out right now, or what you should work out right now. If you have a plan, a routine, a workout routine, there's no discussion, unless maybe, you know, you are having a cold and you're deciding whether you're too sick to actually work out. But that's probably not usually the case. Usually probably you just feel like, yeah, it's gonna be painful and I don't even know what I want to do. Maybe I'll do a 5-minute abs workout and then I'll decide what else I want to do, but then I feel tired after the 5-minute abs workout, so I just stop. Don't make it harder for yourself. Figure out at what point of the day or the week you have time to work out and you have the most energy and maybe even motivation to work out. For many people, that's in the evening because they feel stronger and or they have the time in the evening. But for another part of the people, me included, the morning is actually the best time to work out, especially if you struggle with your discipline, because most of us, unless you're really not a morning person, have the biggest, strongest willpower in the mornings because we're still energized from our night's sleep. And if you eat the frog of working out in the morning, you've got that done, and it's a lot harder to get distracted throughout the day and or to find excuses why you don't have the time or you don't have the energy or you don't have the motivation to work out in the evening. And then when you found a time, make actually starting easy, meaning put out your workout clothes in the evening if you want to work out in the morning, or take your gym bag with you to work so that you can go straight to the gym or to whatever sporting activity you're planning on doing after work, and don't go home first to get your clothes and then, you know, see the couch and can't really resist going to the couch. And next to making it easy, make sure you like what you are doing. If you are in pain when you work out, I mean, not the good kind of pain, because, you know, your muscles burn when you work out your muscles, but I love that feeling. Well, most of the times at least. But if you don't, do something else. You don't have to be a gym person. You can also be a dancing person or a hiking person or a biking person or a basketball person.
Hold up, let me see. Let me see this. Oh my God! Oh my God!
Whatever sport you enjoy doing, do that sport. And yes, I'm a big advocate of strength training, mainly because I personally like strength training, also because, you know, it's very efficient, but efficiency doesn't help you if you are not doing it. But I have to tell you that up until, I don't know, 10 years ago, I did not do any sports and I thought I would never like it. And then somehow I started to lift weights and somehow I found out I like that. So sometimes we just have to push ourselves to try out a thing and maybe try it out more than once, and only then we start falling in love with the thing. And what helps here is to treat yourself a little bit like a dog. Try to find a very very profane way to motivate yourself to get started. That should not be having that chocolate bar after working out, in my opinion. I get that there's different opinions about, rewarding yourself, but in general, it can be difficult to, or become difficult to reward yourself with food. But instead, what I recommend, for example, is putting on your favorite Spotify playlist to get you hyped up and get you in that good dopamine, serotonin full, happiness hormone full mood to make your brain associate the working out that you do while listening to your favorite playlist with these feelings of happiness that you get from your favorite playlist. Because our brains can be tricked out. That's very German. Because we can trick out our brains in that sense, just as you would a dog. If you tell a dog to sit and he sits, you give him a treat. And yes, I know that's food, but that's just the basic idea of conditioning. If you condition yourself to do certain things and you associate that certain thing with a positive feeling, automatically in time, after a few repetitions, you start to unconsciously crave that thing, even though maybe it's a painful thing, like working out. Like I said, working out is physically painful. It should be, at least to some extent, because otherwise you are not challenging yourself. But at some point you will start liking that pain, and then it just becomes natural, or rather it becomes unnatural if you don't work out. Another thing that many people struggle with is this thing called goals. I have another video about setting goals. I'll link it up here. And there I basically talk about why setting outcome-oriented goals can be a real motivation killer. Because if, for example, you tell yourself by the end of the year you want to lose 10 pounds, or you want to, be able to squat 30 pounds, I'm so bad at pounds, 50 pounds, whatever you are able to squat. Yes, of course, it can give you a guide to where you want to go, aka be in a caloric deficit or squat a lot. But first, the way going there is not much fun because you're not really enjoying the journey, or probably you tend to not enjoy the journey, but are only focused on the destination. And second of all, if you don't reach the goal, that's probably gonna kill your motivation. You're gonna be like, okay, it didn't work out, although I worked really hard, so why should I even keep going? So instead, I recommend you to set process-oriented goals, meaning to optimize your system, aka the journey towards that goal. And the best way to do this is to look at your life and find out what is realistic for you to do. If you have to work a 60-hour work week and have a dog and a relationship and friends, maybe even a kid, and have to commute to work 1 hour a day, but also set yourself the goal of hitting the gym for 2 hours every day, 5 days a week, of course you burn out. I mean, for some people that may be feasible because their motivation is big enough, but if you're not there yet, if you don't love it enough to make that happen without burning out, you're gonna burn out. And then of course you're gonna throw in the towel. I would, everybody would. And while it is always important to challenge yourself and not to only take a 5-minute walk every day for 2 years and never, challenge yourself physically, it's also important to not overdo that challenge. A good orientation point is always to be right at the edge of your comfort zone, meaning you should feel a bit comfortable when working out, when exercising, whatever that exercise looks like, but you should not have the feeling that you're just under stress and you don't have the time and your muscles are tearing apart and you don't have enough time for regeneration, but instead find that sweet spot just outside your comfort zone to lure yourself outside your comfort zone in order to grow, whether that's your muscles or whatever your fitness goal is. Another thing that many of you and also everybody basically I talk to struggle with, and me too, is information overload, because there's so many opinions online, especially on social media, especially on YouTube, about the best nutrition hack, the best workout, the best whatever, that you don't even know which method to follow. And that information overload can first lead to decision fatigue because you have to decide which path you're gonna take, and also it's just overwhelming being bombarded with so much varying information, especially if the information is not of the same opinion. If you have the time to try out every TikTok trend, whether that's drinking apple cider vinegar or just doing low impact workouts, whatever it may be, go ahead by all means. But if you don't, and you don't have the time or the energy or the need to try out everything, and also not to read through all the research articles out there, try to focus on a couple of people that you trust, and that can be your doctor, your nutritionist, your personal trainer, but also your favorite YouTuber, or your favorite online magazine that you trust, and try to not only focus on one opinion, because it's always good to have two opinions, no matter how reliable that source of opinion seems to you. So I recommend you to follow 2 to 3 accounts, including mine, that you trust, and let them summarize what research says for you. One of my favorite YouTubers when it comes to fitness is Natasha Ocean. I feel like she really, I don't only feel like it, she also has the proof that she talks to experts, and she doesn't just share whatever trend she's heard of, but she actually backs up what she's saying with science. And science can be wrong too, but science is still the safest way to go. Or personal experience, and she shares both. But I really recommend her channel and mine, and then you can add to that a third one of your choice. And one more thing, your fitness journey, like most journeys, are a marathon, not a sprint. And I hate that saying because I'm a very impatient person, whether it's about fitness or, you know, success in life in general or whatever. It sucks to have to wait to see results or to see anything or to just start liking whatever you're doing. I get it, but it is maybe not a marathon, but it's not a sprint. You just need some time to adapt to a new routine, a new challenge, a new habit in general, whatever it is. It takes time to get yourself used to things, and then it takes time for results to show. And that's another reason why it's so important to focus on your system and not the outcome. If you focus on your system, aka a good workout routine and a good diet plan, and you stick to that, you're winning every time you stick to that plan, and not just what your measurements say, but you get rewarded every time that you follow your system. Next to these reasons, there are also certain beliefs that I've noticed that make people struggle with their fitness journey more than necessary. And in this video right here, I debunk these very common misbeliefs about fitness and nutrition. So make sure you check out that video as well. This was it for this motivational video. I hope this helps you. Just know I believe in you and you've got this. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.